Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Childish Entertainment, and in this video I'll be telling you guys what I would do if I had the chance to run the DCU. Now I want to clarify that I won't be rewriting the previous DCEU or the Snyderverse. I am simply telling you guys what I would do if I got the chance to run the live action movies going forward. I know that James Gunn is now in charge of DC and has announced several projects and his overall plan, but this is a sort of what if situation, so don't take it seriously. Now I know it's no secret that the DCU was complete trash, but there are still elements of it I would still keep. Most of the actors like John Cena, Margot Robbie, Jason Momoa, and Idris Elba I would keep. But I would most likely get rid of all the previous actors from the Snyderverse. I would keep most of the directors if they wanted to return, and I know this is going to be controversial, but hear me out. I would release the Flash movie. I'm not saying we should condone Ezra Miller at all for his actions, but I would release this movie but rewrite it to resemble the Flashpoint storyline, and in the end, make a post-credits scene that would set up the new universe and begin with a clean slate. I would also release all the DCU projects that have already been finished and in post-production. And as of the making of this video, the Flash movie is slated to release this summer, so I guess DC's following this part of my plan. Now we all know the DCEU has been tangled in messy reboots, half continuations, and side stories that aren't even connected to the main universe. So during my Flash movie, I would bring back all the old cast members and do a live action version of the Flashpoint Paradox movie, where Barry saves his mother and creates a dark future where the world is at war. Barry would meet the Justice League members from before, but they don't remember him or the previous timeline. Everything would stay the same as the movie and the comic book, except that Bruce would still be Batman. Instead of him dying and his parents becoming Joker and Batman, Bruce survives like normal, but after their deaths, Alfred dies too. Without Alfred, Bruce would end up destroying his company and becoming a Batman that kills, drinks, and is severely depressed. Superman will also be changed to have come to Earth and found by the government as a final resort weapon, kind of like Homelander from The Boys. Just like the end of the storyline, Barry stops himself from saving his mother, but when he does this, everything is reset and we'll have a brand new Barry Allen who doesn't remember anything or even have the Speed Force yet, while being replaced by Dylan O'Brien. If you've watched my DC recasting video, you'll know why I chose him to replace Ezra Miller. At the end of the movie, there will be a letter to everyone who helped make the previous universe and to tell the fans that a new universe is coming. Similar to the end of Endgame, where they kind of all had the actors with their signatures on the screen, so something along those lines. So after the release of the Flash movie, I would start planning the first phases of the new universe, starting with solo movies for my new Justice League members. There will be a total of 7 movies in the first phase, 1 for each member of the new Justice League, and a Justice Society movie that will take place during World War II, with phase 1 all ending with the Justice League movie. Even though the DCU will be the main focus of DC, I still want to keep the animated movies and shows that are produced by HBO Max. Shows like the Titan series and the Harley Quinn show should still exist. I would also bring back Young Justice because that show is amazing and does not deserve to be cancelled again. For my new universe, I don't just want movies to be the center focus. I also want to make shows and specials similar to how the MCU started making them in phase 4, but I would start making mine in phase 2. Telling smaller stories that aren't long enough to be full movies would be a great way to expand the roster of characters without forcing them to be in movies as side characters. Specials would also be incorporated for storylines that are too short for a movie but flow better without an episodic format. I can't stress this enough when I say that whenever live-action DC movies are made, writers and directors seem to use the same storylines everyone is familiar with while completely missing what made those storylines great in the first place. Every time a Batman movie is made, the same 5 storylines are used, and that's what makes Batman seem so boring and violent, because all the most popular comic book runs writers pull from depict Batman as a violent and angry edgelord without actually reading the story to understand why he seems this way. And this is not just a Batman problem. Almost every Superman movie uses Doomsday, General Zod, or Lex Luthor as his main villains. But Superman has so many more villains with deeper connections that test him in so many different ways. Just like the Justice League has more villains than just Darkseid. I would expand the storylines and comic book runs used to expand my universe in a new and creative way. Now I just want to say that the Snyderverse had some amazing creative ways of using these characters and the world around them, but it's just so dark and gritty to the point where it got mind-numbingly boring. DC Comics is filled with some of the most iconic, powerful, and colorful characters ever created, so why are people so hell-bent on making them dark all the time? The MCU, especially in the beginning, was great at telling separate stories that had different tones and were able to balance the serious and funny perfectly. But for some reason, DC movies either come off as too serious or too silly. There has to be a balance. Serious scenes shouldn't be filled with jokes every 10 seconds, and scenes that are supposed to be happy and light shouldn't be stone cold. There has to be a balance in tone. Not all villains have to have redemptions, but I do feel telling their stories is just as important as telling the hero stories. Darkseid is seen as this evil threat that wants to conquer the universe with the anti-life equation, but I feel like we should learn more about the New Gods and what made him this way. Now, I'm not saying showing their entire life stories should make us feel sorry for them, but I feel like just a piece of information would be a great way for us to see the villains from a different perspective. So that wraps up my scenario for running the DCU. If you guys want more videos like this, make sure you comment, share, subscribe, and tell me how you guys would run the DC universe if you had the chance. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.